Hey, Rick, we had Michael and Cindy Stockhaus in today. Phenomenal agents, married couple. I mean, it's interesting how they got into the business and then now they are flourishing. What was your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway was even after all these years, they still have a coach and they're working.
Yep.
They get up early, they get into work, they're at work by 7:30, they work all day. They take it seriously. It's a job to them that they love to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think that is something that makes a big difference, and especially when you're getting going. But certainly after all the years, they still are doing that.
Yes. If you are thinking about whether you need a coach or don't need a coach, you need to listen to this because they will go into the reasons why they have, and they've been in the business for over 23 years. So they will talk to you and let you know the reasons why. Tune in to hear Michael and Cindy.
Welcome to Indy's Real Estate Gurus, your ultimate guide to the dynamic world of real estate in Indiana. And I'm Rick Ripma, your hardworking mortgage guy, and I've been in real estate and mortgages for over 24 years.
And I'm Ian Arnold, a loan officer on Rick's hardworking mortgage team, and we are both with Advisors Mortgage Group. Together, we'll empower you with expert advice, market trends, and successful stories from guru realtors and local experts.
Whether you're a homeowner, investor, or pro, join us as we navigate the thriving Indy real estate market.
Now get ready to unlock the doors of success, one episode at a time.
Well, today we have Cindy and Michael Stockhaus,
Yes.
which is a perfect name for real estate agents, right? Stockhaus?
Right.
It's awesome. So we would like to start with, what did you do before real estate? And since there's two of you, we'll kind of get Cindy. What did you do? What was your life like before real estate? How'd that go?
So before real estate, I actually did a lot of things before real estate, but the main ones, I was a bartender for a while, and then I did portrait photography for a long time. And then did that until we got married, and did real estate. Once my son was 2 years old, I decided, of course, one of those things that most realtors say, I want to make my own schedule and that type of thing. So I've been doing real estate for 23 years now.
Yeah. When you make your own schedule in real estate, that means you work all the time, right?
Every day, 24 hours a day.
I made my schedule. I work always. I always work.
Always, forever.
And how about you, Michael?
So I've done a lot of things too. When we first met, I was a golf professional. Which goes along with growing up in Florida, I guess. And then after that, I became a general manager for AMC Theaters and was employed there until one day we decided we wanted to go in business together. Being today's Valentine's Day, this is our 30th year together. So
wow, congratulations.
So you figure we've been working together for the last 12 years and been married for almost 30 years. So yeah. Wow, when you say it like that.
I know, that's a long time.
Yeah. I know, it's amazing.
That's 60 years apart. I mean, 60 years total. Right?
Exactly.
That's a lot of time. Yeah. My wife and I have been married 39 years, I think, almost 40.
It's amazing. Congratulations.
You lose track, you can't remember. It's a lot. Now, you both grew up in Florida.
So yeah, I'm originally born and raised in Florida, 40 years, Central Florida.
And you grew up in New Jersey and then moved to Florida.
Got Shanghai to Florida, yes.
Yes.
My parents retired and took me with them.
Oh, is that what happened? They retired.
Yep.
Okay.
So I graduated from a school near what's the villages in Florida.
Okay.
And went into golf, and the rest is kind of history.
Okay. And then you two met on a blind date, I remember reading something about that. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So I was a portrait photographer for Olan Mills. You guys, everybody.
I remember
Olan Mills. Yeah. And so I had photographed this nice older couple, and we were cutting up, and I'm always joking around with people, and they said, we know the nicest young man we could set you up with. We'd like you to meet him. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. And they finally talked me into it. So I said, we'll give him this free 8x10 gift certificate and have him come in to be photographed. And I thought, it's a safe place. If he's a serial killer, maybe I'll figure it out. And so he came in to be photographed. So our very first time we met is in portraits. I was taking his pictures. So he asked me out when we had wine afterwards, and the rest is history. Yeah.
You know how much money I spent in pictures that day? It was ridiculous.
Yeah. She was a heck of a salesperson.
They were great pictures.
So then how did you guys get into real estate?
So I had a very good friend of mine who owned she was a broker owner in Florida, and she had always told me, Cindy, you should do real estate. You'd be great at it. Then when my son was 2, I just wanted to do something to spend more time with him again. And so I called Dorothy, and I got my real estate license and started doing it from then. And then when we moved, it was a corporate move for us to Indiana. And we had several choices of places they gave us, but I fell in love with Indiana when we got here. And so once we were here, he was still corporate, but then he always loved real estate. He always did the back office. He was always into it, with marketing and things. And we just decided that we wanted him to do it full time to be able to spend more time with our kids. So that's kind of how it happened, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how it happened.
So did you both do it full time here in Indy, but you had been doing it full time in Florida?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Are you still licensed in Florida?
No, I kind of wish I had kept my license in Florida, but I have a lot of good agents that I can refer people to there. And so it was just easier to do that than to keep 2 licenses.
And they know the area and everything else, right? I mean,
yeah.
That is helpful, I think, to be
yes.
an expert, because you were there, but the market's changed, hasn't it?
Correct.
So it could be totally different than what you remember.
That's exactly right. And I want to make sure I'm getting them the best service. Yeah. And so, I know some great realtors down there all over Florida. So.
Yeah. Plus, you guys would have to travel down there all the time if you had a license. That would be terrible, wouldn't it?
Terrible. I still go down there to see my family all the time, and he decides not to because my family's there. So
there's a reason why we moved to Indiana.
Yeah, there you go.
So let me ask you this, Michael. So she was doing real estate, and then you got the itching to jump into it. Was it hard to do? And then let's be honest, working with a spouse all the time is not always the best. So was there a learning curve?
No, she's the boss. There's no problem at all.
He does what he's told.
It was harder than I thought in the beginning to get going. And I think I've heard this before. Everybody thinks that real estate, you make your own schedule. It's easy. No, it's not. It's a commitment. It took us probably, when I got in the business, a good 3 or 4 months to really get going. Yeah. And it worked out really well, and I was her buyer's agent for years, and I enjoy it. I love doing it today. It's really, really fun to get out and meet people and to actually help them find a home.
So how did you get going? Because you guys came here from Florida, so I got to think you didn't know a lot of people when you started your real estate here in Indiana. And real estate is a tough business to get going in. Sure. For the vast majority of people. In fact, 3 to 4 months is very fast. Mm-hmm. So what did you do? What was your process? How did you get going?
Well, so when we first got here, he was still working corporate. So I was able to really get my feet underneath me and get my bearings, okay. That type of thing. But real estate, it is about past clients, sphere, that type of thing. But also we have coaches. So our coaches have us on the phone. So you just literally get on the phone and start working. I mean, you just start making calls, knocking on doors, those types of things. And then once you do start getting a sphere and you start getting past clients, that's word of mouth, referral. And when you do a good job for them, you're going to get more business. So we just went from there. And then when he first got in the business, it was kind of crazy. The market wasn't great, but it was good. It was okay. It was starting to come up. And he's always been about marketing. Michael's always been real good with that and getting in on things when they first are starting with internet leads, internet ads, those types of things. And so he's always been a little bit ahead of the curve. And that really propelled us up as well. Plus, we work constantly. So
yeah. Well, that's what I heard. What I heard is we worked.
Still do.
Yeah. You worked and you have to work now. It just amazes me how many people get in and they think that it's just going to fall in their lap, and it doesn't work that way. You have to put a lot of effort forward. That's why I love that question. I like to hear what people actually did to get going.
Sure.
So what is your marketing now? What do you think is the latest or the best area right now to market in?
So I still think talking to people and talking to a lot of people is the best way to market. We're 60 days into our new brokerage, And that's what we've had to do. We've had to call everybody and say, hey, this is where we're at right now. This is what we're doing. This is what we've started. And I think that's absolutely the best marketing in the world. You can advertise online and it's necessary. But I think especially with COVID accelerated it, we lost the art of conversation. And I think it is so important to actually pick up the phone and talk to somebody. And then you get the word of mouth going on.
I agree. And I think old school is you get back down to the roots of knocking on people's doors. When you have a listing, go tell the neighbors. When you have an open house, invite them, personally, making calls, those types of things. That's where it is, really. Market yourself and your listings.
Yeah, I would fully agree. I mean, I understand the younger generation, and I'm part of that, likes to text, likes to email. But guess what? Sometimes, how many times have you texted your wife or something and been like, hey, you're saying something and she misreads it?
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, especially when you're talking to clients and stuff, I think phone call is best because you may not be able to see them, but you can read their voice. All right. Do they sound concerned? Why was there hesitation? Why was this? So I think as you said, the communication has to get better, even though a lot of people would rather just text.
Yeah, that's the truth. And we have clients, our younger generation. I mean, my kids are, that. And I'll ask them in the beginning, how do you prefer to communicate? And if they'd rather communicate by text, mostly that's what we'll do. But I'm still going to call them. I'm still going to leave them a voicemail. And then they call me back. They actually, I think, crave that more than they think they do. Mm-hmm. So if they're busy and we text, that's great. But eventually I'm going to call you. Like I'm going to. So.
And a text can't be a book, right? Some things we have to communicate.
Right.
Take a little more than yes.
Right, exactly. Or an emoji.
Yeah, which is even, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I don't know if you guys are like this, but I don't really completely understand texting. I do a lot of it, right? But I still don't completely understand it. And I don't always completely understand. If somebody abbreviates things, I half the time I have no idea what in the world they're talking about.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
It's like you got to take a class.
Yeah.
And I'll do it. Somebody will text me something with the abbreviation and I'll think, okay, I have no idea what that is. So I have to Google it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the beauty. You can Google anything, right?
Exactly.
There's nothing you can't find
anything. That's the truth.
I think it's interesting that it hasn't changed. The number one thing you can do for marketing is you get on the phone and you talk to people.
That's exactly
right. You go out
right.
and you meet people, and you have to build. That's how you build your business, right? It's how we've always built businesses.
That's exactly right. And even when you're shopping or you're eating dinner or you're doing stuff during the day, I always usually have my name tag on, and people want to talk about real estate.
Yes.
I mean, that's what everybody does. And they see that and they're saying, oh, hey, how's the market? Or, just, questions. And you have to talk to people every day. My coach, I have a certain amount of people I have to talk to every day. And, if I don't, then she's going to yell at me.
So let's go into this. So just really quick, how long have you been in the business?
23 years.
23 years. And you still have a coach?
I do.
And how does this coach help you? And now let's elaborate a little bit more. How does the coach help you throughout your process?
Wow. So a good coach, and she's been doing this for 30 years probably. But she keeps me on track. She makes sure that I have my goals set, and both long-term and short-term. And then she keeps me on track. She's always wonderful advice, especially with us opening the brokerage, different things that we need to think about as we're doing that. She's always role playing with me as well to make sure that I am knowing the questions to ask and those types of things. She's just super smart. So it keeps me on track. And also she's in Chicago. So the other thing that I love about it is real estate always, when there's changes, of course, it ebbs and flows. And the changes start on the coasts and then they move the way into us in the middle of the country. So she's always keeping me on what's going on so I can let my clients know. If there's a change in the market happening, good or bad, she's going to say, okay, Cindy, my West Coast people, my East Coast people, this has started happening. And I can kind of forward that to my clients.
Yeah, I think that's one of the beauties of having a coach is that they talk to so many people that they can really, they can take the best of what everybody does and get and train you in that.
That's exactly right, because she coaches clients all over the country.
Yes.
And so I'm really have my finger on the pulse of what real estate's doing everywhere,
Yeah.
which helps us here.
Plus, if you're really good at making phone calls and you say, well, yeah, this is what I do and this really works well, she's going to pick that up and she's going to tell her client in, Texas,
Yes.
hey, this is really working for some of my clients. Try this. And it really does. It makes a big difference. You learn a lot by having a coach.
Oh, it's the truth. Yeah. And she does. She gives me tips. This person's doing this. This is what he said. These are the materials that he's using as far as marketing. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that I really think it's vital is one of those, especially younger agents that are like, oh, I can do it. Yeah, but you need a coach. You need somebody to sit there and mentor you. And that's the reason I was asking how long you've been in there. And you've been in there 23 years, and yet you still have a coach because things are constantly changing, and you never know what. So who's your coach, Michael?
She sits next to me.
No, I'm the boss.
The boss.
He's got a coach too.
I've got a coach too. I've got a management coach. And she spends a lot of time working with me on recruiting and working with the brokerage numbers. And also she's coaching people across the entire country and Canada. So again, I'm in the know of what's coming down the pipeline because it does normally move in from the coast. And there's normally a 2 to 3 week delay. So we have time to prepare for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the other benefits of coaching is it gets you thinking bigger.
Yes.
And I mean, it's sometimes you just see the little world you're around. It opens up your horizons and you think bigger. And your goals become bigger. What you want becomes bigger. You talk about going to Florida. Well, I don't want to go to Florida. I want to go to California. I want to go to Hawaii. What do I have to do on a daily basis to get myself there? And on the weekly coaching calls, that's what we discuss. And it just keeps you growing and growing. You're never too old to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
Everybody's looked at you when that got said.
I know. Well, that's because I'm a learner. I'm sure that's why it
That's
is.
exactly what it was.
Well, here, if you wanted to learn, let's do this. So if somebody's wanting to get in contact with you to find out what they have a question about real estate, buying, selling, or anything like that, how can they learn the best way to contact you?
That is a wonderful question. Thank you for asking. So we are Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Gold Key. The number to reach us is 317-517-8407. And I am answering that call most of the time.
And is that a call in text?
Both. Call or text, yes.
And the number is what? I can't remember. I'm old. I can't remember.
I don't want to talk about learning.
He wants to learn my number.
I do.
Stop. 317-517-8407.
Perfect. And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can give us a call at 317-672-1938. It's 317-672-1938. And that is just a call. That does not allow text.
Rick can't answer text, so that's the reason why we do that. All right. So
I can answer them. I just can't read them.
All right. So we're going to take a side step. So let's get to know more about you guys. So if I have to take away your phones for 24 hours, you cannot work whatsoever. What do we catch you guys doing for fun?
Gosh. So spending time with my kids, they're grown. When they're around is always a priority, of course. We are foodies. That's a good thing and a bad thing. So we love finding really cool. He's got a nose for it. Like he can find the coolest tuck back restaurant that you would never find that has the absolute best food. So that's probably what I would say. One thing. And reading. We're both readers, so we read a lot.
Yep, and I think as we've been in the business longer, we've realized that sometimes we do have to take a break from our phones, and we will shut them off and we will put them aside. Now, we're nervous when we do that. We're absolutely nervous when you put it aside because you never know what's going to happen. But there is a time and place that you do need to take some time.
Also traveling.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love to travel. I mean, all over everywhere, this country, of course, but the world too. So we have the thinking big thing. We have things on our calendar of where we want to go, my daughter and I especially. So traveling is huge.
Okay. So since you brought up the whole food thing, what's a good hidden gem around here? Some people need to try.
Oh my gosh, there's a few. So that place downtown that has the soups, it's right on the circle. It's like the soup Nazi. What is the name of it?
Seinfeld reference.
Yes. Right on the circle, around the corner from Potbelly Sandwiches. So good. They have the best soups in there.
I'm going to tell you that my hidden gem is always Ruth Chris.
Okay.
And there's nothing like a good steak. Nothing like a good steak.
Yep.
You know, and honestly, if you go up and down the downtown, just about every place you go has something good and something different. I mean, I can walk in any restaurant in the world and find something I want to eat.
Brown County is a go-to for us. Hard Truth.
Yes.
If you haven't been there, oh my gosh, the food is amazing. They have, of course, they make, you know, the liquor and the beer and everything there. So it's a really good place too.
Where is Hard Truth? Because we go to Nashville a lot.
Well, it's they've got two of them. There's one in Franklin as well.
Oh, okay.
But the one in Nashville is a lot more fun. And if you type in the distillery, it's not downtown, so it's going to be in the woods.
That's why I've never seen it.
That's exactly right. It's in the woods. So if you type in Hard Truth, because you can take a distillery tour while you're there as well. But if you're going to go, especially on the weekend, make a reservation because it gets really packed.
Yeah,
but they have live music and it's a really cool place.
Yeah.
I will say this. I would agree with you. Ruth Chris, phenomenal. I mean, you think you've had a steak and then you go there and you have one. Yeah, you spend your pocket. Don't get me wrong. But that taste, you'll want to have it all the time. It is so good.
Yeah.
Well, as a vegetarian, I don't eat there.
Well, sounds like a personal issue.
but I do. This is kind of a offshoot of another podcast we did. And one of the guys, one of the ways he really exploded on social media, and he did coffee shops. And he did reviews of coffee shops. And when you were talking about the restaurants, I thought, man, you guys should do reviews of restaurants.
Oh,
if he's really good at finding restaurants, and then he had over 1 million hits, million views on one of his videos on one of the coffee shops.
Oh, wow.
And he said that's how he did it. And it's just, you just go in and ask and they say yes. And then you just do a real quick video. He said it works phenomenally well. Anyway, it's just an idea, but it
Thank
popped
you.
in my head when you were
And we get to
about
eat
that.
there.
And you
while
get
we're
to eat there, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Darn it.
In most
I'm on
places,
that.
he says say yes.
Yeah.
He said coffee shops say no. And he's like, I don't understand it, because he improves their business. People go there because he has a lot of people who follow him.
Right.
You know, social media is great, but it's not all about real estate. It's about the other things. And I have found that nobody cares really that much about mortgages. What they care about is the other stuff you put on, you know, this more stupid things. Everybody likes that, right?
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. It's fun stuff.
It's just a bizarre situation.
All right, Rick.
Yes.
I'm waiting to hear this.
I'm
going to let you answer your favorite, or ask your favorite.
You're going to let me ask my favorite question?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll start with Michael. So what would you say your superpower or superpowers are?
I'm extremely patient. I can work through any problem in the world or any situation in the world because I'm just that patient, and that patient in learning, that patient in training. When you train people and when you're coaching and mentoring people, especially newer agents in the business, you just have to have patience. Things don't happen as quickly as we want them to. So that would be my superpower.
So are you bringing on new agents? Is that one of the things that you're building a team?
Yes, we're bringing on new agents and bringing on agents. And like everything else, we have a certain amount of knowledge in the business and a certain amount of experience that we'd like to really pass along and sit and coach and mentor people. And it does take time, and it does take a lot of effort, not on my part because I enjoy doing it, but like you said earlier, on the agent's part to really work. This business is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart.
And having a good mentor and a good management team makes all the difference in the world. Every agent we've talked to on Indy's Real Estate Gurus, maybe not everyone, but the vast majority of them said the difference in them making it was they got on the right team.
Mm-hmm.
They made it. They were floundering. They got on the right team. They learned what to do.
Right.
You know, and they had this mentor and this mentor and this mentor, and that made all the difference.
That's the truth.
Yeah. So, Cindy, what about you? What would you say your superpower or superpowers are?
That's a great question. I would say the gift of gab. I love to talk to people. I love to meet people and find out about them and talk to them and just work with them. So I guess it would be my talkative. I'm expressive. So being expressive is my superpower.
I can literally leave the table in a restaurant, go to the restroom, come back, and she will know everything about the people at the table next to us. It's always so amazing to me.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing to me too, because that's not me at all.
Him either.
But yeah, but it's a great superpower. It's a great thing to be able to do.
Yeah. Well, I love it.
Yeah.
No, she just loves the whole, and here's my business card, and here's my business card.
A lot of times that's how it is.
Yeah. But I don't think that's why she does it.
No, wait.
I can't help it. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
I
what I
say,
figured.
it's just natural. Whether people like it or not, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
He's used to it now.
Michael and I, we can help it.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
We don't.
I would agree, though. Talking to different type of people in different circumstances is a huge power. I mean, I can talk to people no matter what type of life you are in, just the way my family and everything is. But I've been in sales my entire life, and I've seen other people, and I try to train them, and they're so hesitant. And I'm like if you're selling at a car lot, customer walks on a lot, they're afraid to go out there and talk to the person who just came to see them. And
Right.
I'm like, no. If you can't do that, how can you do anything else?
They're there to buy a car,
Correct.
probably.
Yes, they are absolutely.
It's the same thing. If somebody walks into your office and you can't get up and say, "Hey, how's it going? What brings you in?" Something's wrong.
That's exactly
But
right.
it is a gift to be able to just randomly just turn around. Hey, how are you guys doing? What's going on? So I fully agree with your superpower.
Oh, thank you. And I think it's a gift learning about people, meeting new people. It truly is a gift.
It is.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually why I really like the podcast, because I love hearing people's stories. It's the stories that are so interesting to me, like how you guys met. And those things are just really interesting to me.
Right.
So you mentioned hiring people and everything. So let's get into this. What type of characteristics or type of people do you look to hire?
Well, we know from coaching that the best type of agent is an amiable person. And that's what you're really looking for. You're looking for someone who's amiable, who can get along with people, who's not scared to talk to people, and not scared to get out there. And I guess it's almost like a politician press the flesh. You have to be able to be personal and have to be able to talk to people. Otherwise, you're really going to struggle in this business. You can get all the internet leads you want. You can get all these things to you and for you, but eventually you do have to talk to somebody and you have to meet them. And I think that's one of the things that I stress when I talk with agents is I want to make sure that they're really, really ready to go out there and talk with people and can be the real estate expert for whoever they're talking to. Everybody wants to know what's going on with the market. Everybody wants to talk about real estate. So that's what you have to be willing to do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Real estate is, it's one of the beauties, I think, of real estate is everybody, if you're thinking of buying, you're thinking of selling, or you own a home, or you rent, you want to know what's going on in real estate, right?
No, that's the truth. It's so personal. Like, it's one of the most personal things that anyone has in their life. And to add to that, what we're looking for me, positivity. I can't have someone who's negative all the time, like an Eeyore type personality. I really want positive people because culture in our brokerage is huge. And we want people to be just, and not everybody's going to be rah, rah, rah every day. We totally get that. But on a general basis, a positive person. Yeah. And honestly, even if someone is not a total people person, like you two, not wanting to be a total people person, we can teach you and train you how to be a people person when you need to be.
Right.
Because sometimes it's like you're on stage and you need to smile and you need to talk and then it starts coming more naturally. So
yeah. I did it like you. I started in bartending.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as a bartender, you had to learn to talk to people.
You did. That's exactly
one of the reasons I got into it years ago is so I could get out of my shell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a movie called Sing, and it's awesome because, and I told my kids this, I go, you'll be nervous to do anything until you first start it. And he tells the girl on the stage, because she's so nervous, she goes, just start. As soon as you start, everything opens up. So for instance, you got somebody nervous to go talk to somebody, just say hello. As soon as you say hello, nerves drop, they're going to say hello. And then the conversation just starts.
That's exactly right. That's a good one. I like that.
So every time somebody's like talking about that vision always pops in my head. So what do you think the two characteristics of people that succeed in real estate?
Oh my gosh. You have to be self-motivated because you are your own boss. Truly, you are an independent contractor. So you have to get up in the morning, get up early enough to exercise, get your morning ready, and you have to show up because it is work. and you have to treat it like a job. You have to treat it like you are punching in the time clock. So self-motivated, someone who is flexible with their schedule, because you are going to have to be flexible be ready when buyers want to buy and sellers want to sell. So those are two probably the big things.
I think I can't answer it any better than that.
Well, to me, it's that ability to work. Okay, get up early, get to work, and work is critical. And it amazes me. And maybe I was like that. I don't remember ever being like that, but maybe I was like that. But I don't understand people who don't. They don't work. They kind of treat it as, okay, I'm a real estate agent, but I'm going to go do this and I'm going to go do that. And they don't. And during those times, you could actually do real estate, right? Because you talk to people, but they don't, and they don't know why they aren't making it.
No, it's the truth. The realtors that I see that get up around 8, have some coffee. They might be in the office around 10ish. Those are the ones that don't make it. And there's a lot that don't make it.
Yep.
And unless you treat it like a job and you have a schedule and you have goals and you get up every day, put your, get everything together, and you're at your desk no later than 8 o'clock, you'll do well. Yeah. You really will.
So when do you guys get up?
So he gets up earlier than I do. I get up at 6. He gets up at 5:30. And then do exercise, gratitudes, write in a journal, look at my calendar, make sure I have everything that I need. And then we're at our desk every day by 7:30.
See, I think part of that is because I get up at 4 or earlier, just depends. But I have a process in the morning.
Yes.
And you have a process in the morning.
Yes.
And it's amazing how much you said, well, you got to learn. I spend some of that time learning, because there's nobody bothering me. I don't know, what a wonderful time the morning is.
Yes. And I have not always been a morning person. Being a bartender, you're 3 o'clock in the morning person, but you're not. So you have to adjust, but it's the truth. That quiet time and that time that you have to get your thoughts together, to learn, to read, do whatever you're going to do, and get your thoughts together for the day is so important.
It's vital.
It really is.
I find it, because I wake up early and then I get my kids up and everything. But it's nice that I can go ahead and start working. I can set up through our CRM system emails or text messages I want to go out, but I don't send them out right then. I put it on hey, send at 9 o'clock or send at 10 o'clock.
Right.
So I'm working. Guess what's not happening? I don't have phone going off. I don't have processors calling me and underwriters calling me for all this stuff. It's just me time. I can quickly work, get a lot of stuff done at a lot faster pace than all the phone calls running.
That is so true. It is your time to really get your bearings. Not only your mindset, because mindset's huge with real estate, with anything you do. But you're going to have ups and downs. He said it's not for the faint of heart. So you have to have the right mindset going in. Mm-hmm. And that really gives you time to get your mind right and get your mindset going right.
I don't know how many mornings she wakes up to Ed Milet on the phone with me exercising, or Jocko Wicklet, or some kind of just motivational speaker, or, self-help, because it really does set my mindset for the day and make it stronger.
Yeah. Really does.
All right. So with your calendars and everything, I know you look at them every morning. I want more people's phone numbers and their names on there for you to call them or email them. So what's the best way somebody get in touch with you?
That's a great question again. So you can text or call. The number is 317-517-8407.
All right. And that's call or text.
Call or text.
And what was the number again? I still can't remember it.
That is write this down. 317, everybody that's listening, write
it down.
317-517-8407.
All right. So my goal to remember that. Okay. Since I have it written down somewhere right here in front of me.
We're taking a test later. So
I'll be able to remember it next time. And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can go to 317 or call 317-672-1938. It's 317-672-1938. That's a call, no text.
All right. So I got a good question. It was the question of the week we ask every single time. Okay. So it's a hard one. So first we'll start with Michael. And what was your first car?
1974 Opel Manta.
Oh, really? An Opal?
Yes.
Manta, those are good.
Yes, it was great. It would do 75 miles an hour if I stood on it.
Yeah, well, they weren't fast, but they looked nice.
Yes, yeah. That was my first car.
Yeah. Are you a car guy or not really?
Not really, no.
So it was just a car to you?
It was, my dad gave me his car to drive, and at 16, I was darn happy to have it.
I'll bet.
All right. And Cindy?
Mine's a little bit different. I have 5 brothers, so trucks are the thing. So I don't even know what year truck it was. One of my brothers bought it for me, and it was a 1-ton truck, standard shift, stick shift. It didn't have a bed, and my feet barely reached. So I would have to like bend down a little bit when I was shifting the gears, and scared my brothers to death. I had that for probably 6 months, and then I gave it back to them. And I went out and bought myself a Nissan Sentra.
So the big change from the truck.
Yep.
But that truck, no bed?
No bed.
Nothing.
It was a 1-ton truck with no bed, stick shift. It was huge, and it was crazy. I love driving it though. I mean, I really did. I did love driving it.
It sounds fun to me.
Yes,
but
it was.
if you can tell, I'm a car guy, so I like cars. But I like old trucks. I like all that stuff. So.
I like cars too. So goals, when he says think big, on my dream board, which is real important too, 69 Mustang convertible is what I want. You know, I would do a 67, but I think the 69, I like the body the best. So that's on my dream board.
Yeah. What motor are you? Do you care what kind of motor it has?
No, I let my brothers figure that out. I'm more worried about the color. I want it to be powder blue with a white convertible top.
Really?
Yes.
I have a friend with that exact car.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, it's a 69 convertible Mustang. They rebuilt the whole thing. And it may not be exactly powder blue. It's one of the blues that they have. It's a light blue.
Yes.
But I'm not good with colors.
See, we're opposite. My brothers would want you to say what kind of engine it has.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Yeah. And so I just want to know what color it is.
It's about the motor.
You have to give Michael that guy's number here before we leave here, because if they got a big anniversary coming up, he's going to...
No pressure. There's no pressure. It's okay.
All right. So we all know how real estate really affects the family. Mm-hmm. So your kids are older now. So how has real estate affected your guys' family?
That's a good question. So my son is a realtor. He is 20. He's going to be 25. I can't believe it. He loved it. He loved doing it. I mean, so when people would ask him, he got his real estate license straight out of high school, 18 years old. And people would say, how long have you been doing real estate? And he would say, since I was 2, because he was always with me doing stuff and he loved it. So he still loves real estate. My daughter is the flip opposite of that. She wants nothing to do with it. She's at Indiana State right now, going to school, and she's going to, I think, go for her law degree. So she's going to finish her criminology and then do that. And
remember our phone number. We need help.
She wants nothing to do with real. I said, well, you could be a real estate attorney. She's like, nope, no, thank you. Yeah. So
now in saying that with her, when I take a phone call and she's in the vehicle with me, she goes, Dad, you did really good on that phone call. I like what you did. So she knows everything that we do, and she actually grades us. So it's kind of nice to have another coach in the car with you when you're driving around.
That's helpful.
Yeah. Yes, very much so.
It is interesting. We have some people, kids jump right into it. Other kids are anti it and will never touch it. Then you have kids that say they're anti it. 7-8 years go by after they get out of college. They come on back because they understand, and then they start to realize, wait, a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 10, it depends. I mean, lawyers don't have the best hours, let's be honest.
And that's the truth.
And then you're like, wait, I can make my own schedule. I still just talk to people. Right. Wait, maybe I should get back into, maybe I should do what my parents did.
It's the truth. And the crazy thing is she's been around it so long. We can be having a conversation, and Michael will say something to her. I need to ask your mom about 123 Main Street. And she'll say, is that the short sale? Or is that the one that's whatever? And she'll know, do they have a first ride on that one? And she knows everything about it. So she could do it.
Well, she's obviously smart enough too. I mean, she's going to be an attorney. She's got to have some brains too.
She's a smart cookie.
Yeah, you have to. So what I know with the start of this, you're kind of getting up and going. You've been in real estate for a long time. So what are you most excited about in this startup?
Oh my gosh. probably, for me, I don't know about him, but for me, it was partnering with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. That was incredible. They've been doing homes and the way people live in them, the lifestyle in them for 100 years. And so just the culture with them, again, culture is really big for us. So one of their taglines, or they like to say mottos, is be better, expect better. And I love that. I want to, for our clients, it's an experience, right? Customer service is everything in communication, but also having those extra tools, those types of things I'm super excited about, and giving agents a little something different in the area, because there's not another Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, and it is a little different. So we're excited about that for me.
Oh, for me, because I'm the nerd. The back office systems are the best I have ever had. The CRM, the website, the communication that the systems all talk to one another. It's great. I don't have to flip systems. I don't have to go out and spend more money on something that I want to work better. It's all there. The social media marketing, it's awesome.
Incredible.
It's just, I'm so glad we partnered with them. It's just for agents, it's just an awesome, very robust system.
So what does your team look like right now?
So of course it's him and I am the listing agent, more or less. And I also have my designation with the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing. So I'm a member of their guild, selling homes, over $1 million, but over 600,000 really. And then my son and his best friend, both are full-time realtors, and they're on our team. They are buyer's agents. They do listings as well, especially my son, because he's been around it for so long.
Right.
But they really like working with buyers, and they have their friends who are at that age now. They're all getting married, and so they're really having a good time. So it's the four. And then Michael is the managing broker of our office, and so he does all the back office, recruiting, hiring, all of paperwork type of stuff.
Yep.
He's a nerd.
He is.
I am. But you know what? It's fun. I think that's the underlying thing, and it's like this today. This is fun. Through all of this, through the culture, through showing up to work, you got to have fun with it. And that's what it's really become for us opening this brokerage. It's so exciting, and every day is just, it's fun to do.
It is. We also have a full-time assistant, Mercy. So
Yes.
Shout out to Mercy.
She's not part of the family?
No.
What's wrong here?
She kind of is. I mean, we love her, but yeah, so that's a must. When you get busy like this, you have to have an assistant.
So how much fun is it to have your son working with you?
That's a great
You gotta
question.
like that, right?
It's amazing.
No, it's amazing.
So for me, I have my husband and my son that I work with 24 hours a day. So there are times for both of us where they're like, I know behind my back, we got to give your mom she's getting on my nerves. Like, let's send her to Florida so she can see her brothers. Let's just go. And Mom, don't you need to go to Florida? And then for me, sometimes, you need a break, but honestly, it's amazing. When it gets right down to it, we're really close family, and I tease with stuff like that. But, we know each other so well. And so sometimes there's not a lot of communication that needs to happen. It's kind of a well-oiled machine. And Kenny too, my son's best friend, he grew up in our house on weekends and things. And so, it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. So the good news is we know who the favorite child is. The one in real estate.
I don't know
Not
about
necessarily.
that. I know. My daughter, she's something else. She keeps us all in line. She has been an attorney her whole life. She's a no-nonsense kind of gal. So she's kind of the boss when it comes down to it.
Gee, I wonder where she got that from.
All right. So we'll do this last question because I like to hear stories. So, and being in the business for over 23 years, I guarantee you have some stories.
Oh,
but what would you consider one of your most memorable transactions?
Gosh, there's been so many.
I know there's been so many, and there's so many things that happen. I can tell you on numerous transactions when I've left my phone in the house and I've already locked the lockbox up. I have crawled through doggy doors to get my phone so I can go get the key back out, or I can go get my phone, or I can go get whatever I've left in the house. So there may be on a Ring Central camera somewhere a picture of me going through a doggy door.
That's a teachable moment right there.
It is.
You never put your phone down. You put it back in your pocket where it belongs.
That's
I need my wife to hear that.
really. I guess probably one of the ones that comes to mind is she's an attorney client of mine. We were going to see a house, and we pull up to the house, and the signs in the driveway. The owner walks out and meets us, and he introduced himself. He had a really odd name. But he said, I didn't have a showing today. And we thought, oh, well, I have it on my schedule. He's like, that's okay. You can see the house. And we walk in, and it was just the strangest house. It was bigger than anything we had seen before. But it had all these just odd things. Like, it was just weird. So then we leave, and we get in the house. She goes, I don't think I would buy that house, even though it was bigger than anything else we had. And we go around the corner, and it was the wrong house. There's a house with listed by the same company 2 doors down.
Oh, wow.
And so, we had another showing that day.
Was it better?
Way better. She didn't end up buying it, but it was our first adventure. We had several adventures with her. She's a lot of fun. So, yeah.
So, message to new agents. Double check the address.
Double check the address. That's exactly right.
Was that before we had GPS where we could check everything? Or no, it was after.
I think it just threw us off because his name was Mr. Sandman. And he came out and met us, and he said that, and we thought he was joking. And he wasn't, but he was so nice. He really was very nice. And so we didn't even check the address. We're like, oh, he's so nice. And we go in, and it was funny. So wrong address.
Yeah. I can see me doing that. So I get I understand what happened.
Yeah.
All right. So if somebody wants you to show them the correct house and everything, what's the best way they can get in contact with you guys?
So our phone number, text or call, 317-517-8407.
And I got it this time because I got it written down. 317-517-8407.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. See, if you write something down, you can remember it.
That's exactly right.
He can learn.
He can learn.
Yeah. Well, barely. And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or give us a call at 317-672-1938. It's 317-672-1938. And please follow us for more Indy's Real Estate Gurus.
And a reminder, if you have friends, family, and coworkers looking to buy, sell, refinance, let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you. Cindy, Michael, thank you for joining us on our show. It was a pleasure having you guys on.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for having us. That was fun, guys.
Branch NMLS number 33041. Rick Litton's NMLS number 664589. Ian Arnold's NMLS number is 1995469. Equal housing opportunity. Some restrictions apply.